Hello! You're in for a treat.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays.
2 West.
6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
We got new hours because we're nerdish.
And we're in our 20s despite our looks, so we gotta do things in the evening time over the summer.
Correct. But not too late because, as Levi said, we're in our mid-20s.
Not our early 20s.
And not our late 20s. The mid-20s.
Yes, we're the Goldilocks of 20s.
That's right, I shouldn't have laughed. I gotta keep it cool, because this is our intro rap, where we keep things cool.
We're very cool, so cool we might want a dance break.
Hey, thanks for watching our dance break.
Now, back to the really serious stuff.
Like Brady
And Levi.
and Brady too. We're the 3 members of the Nerdish crew.
That was perfect. We didn't plan that.
Not at all. We don't plan anything. If you couldn't tell by this rap. That was the one thing we rhymed.
That was the one thing.
Which makes it a rap.
Yes, all raps have one rhyme.
We'll see you on 2 West.
Yes. 2 West
6, 7:30 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Keep watching, because it'll turn into us, but probably not wearing the wigs.
Yes, and we'll be much more responsive to whatever you have to say.
You could ask us questions right now. We will not answer them.
Also, we take no responsibility for anything we've done in this pre-recorded session.
Yes. Any lost items, Nerdish is not responsible.
Right, we don't have anything to do with it. We're very different people in the present than we are from when we're recording this video. You might say we are the pupae of Nerdish right now, and in the future we will be the moths.
The
Because moths are the
disgusting
most-
gray moths.
Yes, those gray moths that you hear, they're
Yeah.
like the bats of the flying community.
The wings are leathery. They're leathery wings.
Very leathery.
They're basically butterflies, but we hate them.
Yes.
They're the rodents of butterflies.
This is true.
Right?
Just like the ACT is the rodent of the SAT.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Alright, see y'all.
Very good. Very good. Just ask Jana. Jana, I'm just going to ask you, were you just legit tweeting about us? I just want to ask you. Good evening.
Good
Ooh,
evening, chemist. How
Well
are
done.
you?
Ooh, doing some chemistry right now?
Probably.
Probably. Hopefully not any kind of Breaking Bad stuff.
Please don't do that. It's wildly illegal. I have to text the Discord. That's what I have to do.
It's extra illegal.
It's extra illegal.
Yes.
I like how extraordinary is extraordinary.
Do you?
It's pretty wild. A little bit.
Like, it's so.
I feel like it's super ordinary.
It's so
I don't
ordinary.
know. I feel it's
yeah.
a little misleading.
Yes. Chemist has a question already in the Discord.
Yeah, you do, chemist. Let's do it. Did you finish all the questions from yesterday?
I did.
Nice. Ow. Wait, what does this say? Today, I am not going to take it only to prepare for the real one at the end of the school year.
What?
What?
What science homework I have, and I know how to do it, but I'm going to finish my 10 SAT questions first. Was that the question? The environmental science? Is that what he posted? Is that what the
No,
question
this is not environmental science.
Oh, okay.
So, do you want us to do this now, chemist, or no?
Yeah, chemist, we can do it right now. That's what Levi just asked. I don't know why I repeated it. Oh, my arms hurt.
What's your face?
My arms hurt from all the. Oh, gotta watch out. Whoa! Alright. In 10 minutes, sure. Right now, I'm doing a video on science.
Sure. Let's hold off on this guy then.
Sounds good. Hold off. Whoa!
Stop.
What? I'm just having fun.
Let's see.
That was me, probably.
We've been expecting you, Coltrane. Hey, is Coltrane here?
Are you
Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, yes, Tindo, tell us about this Saturday.
Yes.
What is going on?
Rev up your engines. Vroom, vroom. Drive your SAT motorcycle to the SAT.
Yes.
Park it. Lock it up.
Put the kickstand down.
Down, don't leave it up. And also, you should have had a helmet on the entire time.
Yes.
If you
2
didn't-
helmets, ideally.
Yeah. Which, you square the protection, so you actually are 4 times as safe
Yes.
with 2 helmets.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know how safe you'd be if you had 3 helmets.
8.
Is that right?
No. Probably not.
Probably 9. 8 was close. You got pretty close. That's probably why,
Yeah.
because you were thinking about 9, then you just said 8.
No.
No, you did 2 cubed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What'd you do?
3 squared.
Oh, actually, I did 3 squared minus 1.
Yes.
Because that's normal.
3 squared minus 1.
Yeah.
Why did you minus 1?
Why shouldn't I?
I don't know.
We should probably only do ACT today, huh?
No!
Oh.
That's the opposite of what we should do.
Crap. I
Levi.
thought we should.
Literally, what are you thinking?
I was literally
What could
thinking
you
nothing.
possibly be thinking?
No, I was thinking nothing.
I
over and
simply
over.
don't understand.
MathBot. This is
MathBot.
great.
MathBot. Put on your MathBot. Today. Oh, it's hot. This is great. Let's get sweaty, so I want to smell bad.
Do you want the fan?
We got a
does
nightish
it help?
something.
A little bit?
Yes, it does.
It
Yes,
does. All right, yeah, turn it on. Turn it on. What do we have? You got a
All
question?
right, we got nothing. We got zilch for
Guys,
you.
come on.
Because you're not asking us questions.
Come on. We can
Some
start.
might say it's your fault. We're not saying that. We're implying that.
Well, some.
I'll say it.
Oh, a better nickname. Put in a question. This looks like
Oh.
something different. Ooh, this
Okay.
is fun.
Oh.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Hey, it's your digits. If the number is the product of 6 consecutive positive multiples of 3. Oh my gosh. 5a plus b plus c. Oh my gosh. This is going to be divisible.
Your noggin's cut off.
I know that.
10-digit number above A, B, and C. What?
Our digits.
Oh, yes. Very good. The number is a product of 6 consecutive positive multiples of 3.
What is 5a plus b plus c? All right. So all multiples of 3 have a factor of 3 in them.
Yes.
So that means that 6 consecutive positive multiples of 3. We're going to have to find what those are.
That also means that, oh no, that doesn't help.
Here. So we have 3 numbers that are all multiplied together, and they're all in a row. They're consecutive multiples of 3 to get us that huge number right there.
I assume you have a calculator here.
They better. Oh, absolutely. I mean, maybe there's some crazy way to do this, but I'll tell you the way that I would do this.
Tell me.
Well, the 6 consecutive positive multiples of 3 are going to be pretty close to each other in the grand scheme of things.
Yes.
I say we should take the 6th root of... that's hard. The 6th root of that number. Well, I guess what we could do is...
I mean, guessing and checking wouldn't be that bad.
So if it's a number that's divisible by 3, then the formula for that would be 3n. And then this one would be 3 more than that. So this would be 3 times n plus 1. And this would be 3 times n plus 2. Okay, so this is going to be pretty wild. N plus 3, n plus 4, n plus 5. So we have 3 to the 6th times... I'm sure this is... I mean, this will help us solve it, but this is kind of crazy. Oh, you know what? No. This is not bad. This is not bad. Oh, and there's also an n right here. And that whole thing is set equal to this big number. So we can first divide by 3 to the 6th, which should take a huge amount out of this number. Except we don't know the number. That's the
Can you
problem.
explain this?
Yeah, okay, so if our first number is divisible by 3, we can call it 3n.
First number meaning the first digit? Oh, your first factor.
We're talking about the entire number here. So forget about a, b, and c for right now.
Oh, it's 6 consecutive positive multiples.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense now?
Yeah. that
Okay.
helps me. I thought it was 3 consecutive.
Absolutely not. Yeah, okay. Equals, Levi, can you find 3 to the 6th?
Yes. Give me a moment. I have to go into whatever this is called. $729.
That's all it is?
Yeah.
729. Okay.
Wait, these are what the numbers are? This is where n is your first number?
No, 3n is the first number. If it's a multiple of 3, then I'd like to call it 3n,
Okay.
because any digit put in for n would give us a multiple of 3.
Okay, and then
So
why is n plus 1 there? Why is it not 3n plus 1?
this would be adding, because it's a multiple of 3 plus 3. It's the next multiple of 3.
Yeah, so don't you have to multiply each of these by 3?
Well,
Is that why you're doing 3 to the 6th?
yes.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's n times n plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 to the 6th.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I'm with you, Bird.
Okay, and what does it says? It can only be A or D. It can only be
That's
A or
true.
D.
Yeah.
Now, okay, here's something. Everything that's divisible by 3, if you add up all the
Oh.
numbers, it's going to be divisible by 3.
Okay, so let's see. We have 4, 2, 3, 9, and 4. So that's 6, 9, 18, 22. So you need to have the other number that you're adding be 5 or not 9. Because the other digits add up to 22.
They
So
could add up to 2, because then we get 24, which is a multiple of 3.
yeah, but they can't. Well, you can't have.
They could be
The
0.
answer choices help us.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
answer choices, you have to add 5 to this to get to 27. That's fine. You can't add 6. You can't add 7. You have to add 8. So that's why they're saying A or D are the possibilities.
Okay. All right, and that's where the next thing comes into play, which is
Flabby
this whole mess.
Santa, are you the person who posted this question? Are you a better nickname on Discord? I'm gonna downsize this thing because we don't need this giant question.
Okay. So A plus B plus C has to be one of those.
This is fun.
Thank you.
I like this. Because you're my bird.
That's right. Okay, so we know it's divisible by 3, but we also know it's divisible by 3 to the 6th.
You're just a Samaritan. Doubt it.
A good Samaritan or a bad Samaritan?
A neutral Samaritan.
A neutral Samaritan.
Yeah.
It's the worst kind of Samaritan. Pick
Yeah.
a side. Pick a lane here. So not only is it divisible by 3, but it's divisible by all of that stuff. I mean, I suppose we could we could start trying values of n. I mean, the number is going to be huge, so like we'll get there pretty quickly. So like,
I didn't know it was 6. I thought it was 3, and you could kind of guess and check easily.
12 times 15 times 18 times 21 times 24 times 27 is that.
So that's way too big.
That's too big.
No, it's too small. That's 44 million. We need to get to 4 billion.
You're right. We need to get to 4 billion. Okay, so I started with 12.
Wait. So if you started with 12, you get
12, 15, 18, all that stuff.
So you have 12, 15, 18,
You're reading
21.
about the board.
Shoot! 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So it's not starting with 12, so let's go to 30. So just multiplied by 30 over 12, that number you had.
I know I lost it.
Oh, okay.
Times 21, times 24, times 27.
Okay, finish when you guys are
times
ready.
30.
Sounds good, chemist.
110 million. So
Okay,
it's
so that's
not big
too
enough.
small.
One
So
more.
let's jump again.
So I'm dividing by 15 first, and now I'm multiplying by 33.
Yes. Still
Almost.
too small. Divide by 18, multiply by 36.
That's it right there.
That's it?
That's it.
There we
no,
go.
it's not.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Probably the next
This
one.
is 484 million. It's the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw
All
it before I
right,
got excited.
39.
All right, so I'm dividing by 21.
Yep.
I'm multiplying by 39. One more. It's going to be one more.
All right. 24.
Divided by 24
And going up to 42.
times 42. That's 1.
1.5.
It's got to be 4 billion. We have to keep going.
Yep, it's 4 billion, which has got to be 4 times bigger.
We're at 1.5
So we got to
billion.
jump farther. We got to jump more. Because dividing, we need to get to 4 times bigger, right? So if we take off a 27 and go to something else, that's not 4 times bigger.
We're getting bigger pretty quickly.
Yeah, but we're dividing by 27 and then multiplying by 45, which is barely doubling.
This one is double. We just doubled it.
Yeah, so we need to go to this.
Okay.
40. So we need to be here at
6
least. Maybe it's the next
39
one.
Times 42 times 45 times 48. 4.2. Oh,
There you
239.
go.
That's the one.
There it is.
So it's 4.203. So okay, that is the number. 4,203,000,003, which are the values that we want. 239, 040. So it's these three numbers. They have to add up to 5. Wow. So all of this stuff was actually not helpful at all, but it was just trying something out here.
Oh, we got a follow. Thank you,
Hey, LOL. Like what?
Lola.
That's what the name is. Oh, that was exciting.
So approaching a question like this, which is terrifying, this is a good thought, but number theory is not really something you have to go into on the SAT or ACT. I'm not sure where this question is from, because this is way...
Yeah, they would not do this.
They might do the same concept, but with smaller numbers and fewer multiples, or fewer factors, or whatever you want to call them. What is up, Kuzi?
Hello, Kuz.
That's right. You're right. Better nickname, whatever your name is. Are you in the chat? And does this approach make sense? You know, basically we started here, and then that was wrong by a lot actually. So we just kind of kept moving up the line until we got there. Just divide by the one that you would multiply by, so you don't have to keep typing everything in.
Very good.
Makes sense. Oh, it is you, Lolwa. Were you waiting to subscribe or to follow for us to finish this? You waiting for us to finish this to follow? You have other questions? You should ask them. You should ask us. Don't ask them. Ask us.
No, ask them is ask the questions.
Yeah, don't ask the question about us. Questions are terrified of us because we take them and we put them inside of our brains and then we give you answers. But it's our nutrients. Blast.
Nutrients.
Oh boy.
You already did you break it?
I'm so sore.
I want to tell you about the tennis club. Can I tell you about the tennis club?
Yes. Tell me all about the tennis
A
club.
tennis club is organizing group lessons. That should be kind of fun, right? I don't know, group lessons. The club supplies 40 new balls for each player, which cost
You're such a fun teacher.
$1 each. Well, I think group lessons are fun.
That's the voice. You owe me.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you know exactly what I mean.
Levi.
I hate that voice.
I just like group lessons. Okay. The tennis club is still organizing group lessons. They haven't finished the organization yet. The club supplies 40 new balls for each player, which cost $1 each. Each player pays $300 for the lessons. The club must pay each instructor $1,000 for conducting the lessons, and there must be at least one instructor for every 6 players. Which amount of players and instructors meets these requirements and still gives the club a net profit?
Interesting. They should actually ask you what number of players and instructors meets the requirements, not what amount.
You're right. You're very right. Very
So that was
interesting.
grammatically incorrect.
All right, so they're getting money from the players. Should I jewel? No, you should not. It's very bad for you. They're getting money from each of the players, and they're paying the instructors, and they're also paying for the balls. So those are the 2 costs they have, and then the revenue is coming from the players. Let's just make sure that the ratio, they need at least 1 instructor for every 6 players. Let's make sure that that's not broken by any of these. All right, so 10 would be fine. They would just need 2 instructors for that. For 13 players, they would need 3 instructors. So for every 6 players, they need at least 1 instructor. In this case, we have 6 players, another 6 players, and then 1, which means there's that third grouping which needs a 3rd instructor. So this one here is not okay. You're not going to have a fun time. This one here, 16 players. 3 instructors times 6 gives us 18. Which means they could handle 18 players, so 16 players is okay. So far, the ratio just gets rid of that. Very good. All right, so let's think about this. Let's go through each of these. 6 players and 2 instructors. The revenue that they would get, we want the profit to be positive. And profit is equal to revenue minus costs. So profit here, in this first example, 6 players would be paying $300. So that would be 6 times 300. And our costs would be 40 new balls for each player, which cost $1 each. I'm going to do this in my head. Can a dash introduce a list? Yes, it can. That means $40 for each player. They need to buy $40 worth of balls for each player, so that's something to keep in mind. So that's 6 times 40, which is the ball cost. A dash cannot do everything, Tindo, but I like your spirit. And then they have 2 instructors, which means they're going to have to pay 2 people $1,000. So let's figure out what these costs would get us. They'd be pulling in $1,800, and they would be losing more than that. This is going to be $2,000 plus $240, $2,240. They are going to be losing money. The costs, Tindo, you need to ask us about dashes, because that's not a good point to be at. They're losing money here, so it's not going to be A. So I'm going to just cross out A. For all those that like A, I apologize, but it's just not right. It's just not. Okay, for B, I'm just going to insert my new values where they were before. They now have 10 players. which means they now have 10 people to buy $40 worth of balls for, and then they have 3 instructors. So let's see what happens here. 10 times 300 gives us 3,000. The Nimbus, 3,000. And then we have 400 plus 3,000. So this would be 3,400. The costs are still bigger than the revenue. Did I mean? Oh my gosh, I meant to say revenue right there. That's the revenue. So they're still losing money here. So we cannot pick that either, which leaves us comfortably with D. Levi, should I just make sure that D's right?
Yeah.
All right, fine. 16 players. 16 players to buy balls worth for. Balls for. And then we have 3 instructors, which would be the same thing. Okay, 16 times 300 would be 48,000. 3,000. 4,800, I'm sorry, 4,800. $4,800, and then this would be 3,000 plus 4 times 16 gives us 640. 3,640. That is your sweet spot. You are making more revenue than your costs, which means, hey, you're turning a profit. Way to go. Way to go. Good for you, huh? That's America. We love profit at the expense of treating people well. Woo! What? I didn't say that.
You didn't say what?
That's okay. Go look up workers' conditions in the 1800s and the early 1900s. It's terrible. They didn't care. Chemist. The way the company makes money. It has to spend money. Those are the company's costs. It also is going to make money, which is the revenue it brings in. So they're getting money from the players that are spending $300 for the lessons. Each player gives the company $300 for the lessons, but then they have these costs that are going to make them lose money. As long as you take in more money than you give out, your profit is going to be positive. You're making a profit. You just have to take in more than you give out. So that formula there is profit is equal to revenue minus costs. Money taken in minus money you have to give out. Gives you how much money you're left over with, which is what your profit is. Does that make sense, chemist? Yes, okay. Yeah, it's not like you need to know that formula, but as long as you understand that that's how you turn a profit, is you have to make money overall, then you're good. That is how you would calculate profit. Very good. Okay. Master Levi.
Yes.
Do you like that voice, Blackie?
I do. My lord, please, come on. I'm scared without you. I'm no longer scared. We just got sent a new problem by Chemist. Do you want to take this one?
Yes.
Very good. I think you should. I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it a lot.
I would like it for the rest of my life.
Ah.
All right, let's see how this goes. This looks like a salinity problem. These are all sort of the same. And they're difficult.
Okay, a bottle weighs 50 grams and holds up to 2 liters of liquid. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so we got 50 grams and 2 liters. Let's do that in pink. So, bottle. 50 G's and 2 liters. A chemist. Ooh.
That's
A
fun.
little bit of self-promotion there, I see. A chemist is filling the bottle with X grams of liquid ethanol and Y grams of liquid water. Okay. Well, the problem even says a chemist. Yeah, that's right. We just saw that. Okay, so X grams of ethanol. Y grams H2O. Yeah? All right. Clip that, guys. Someone clip that. I don't know how to clip stuff from here. I should make that easier for myself. I will become famous. Yes, you will. For certainly. Ethanol has a density of 789 grams per liter. Okay.
So 789 G per 1 liter. Okay, cool. And water has a density of 1,000 grams per liter because that's how we do stuff. 1,000 grams per liter. So we have that information. Then the chemist wants the mass of the filled bottle to be less than 1,800 grams. Okay, so the mass of the filled bottle has to be less than 1,800 grams. Oh, a bottle weighs 50 grams. Okay. That's unimportant, and it doesn't even really factor into the answers at all. So them telling you that it weighs 50 grams, I don't think matters whatsoever. You can do this a couple different ways. You can look at, you can try to come up with your own stuff. I'm going to try something different now. I'm going to see if keeping units in mind will help us eliminate answers. Because if the units don't line up on either side of the inequality, then you can't be comparing those two sides. Does that make sense? So if you're comparing grams per liter to just liters, that doesn't make any sense. So that's going to be the wrong answer. So we have x plus y is less than 1,750. Where could we have gotten 1750? I may do it this way. It may not work all that well. No, because the numbers are not as clear. So I'm just going to come up with it myself. They want the mass of the filled bottle to be less than 1,800 grams. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's 1750. Okay. That's 1750 that we're talking about. So this takes a lot of contextualizing what's going on. That 1750 comes from, we want the total mass to be 1,800, but we're talking about the amount of liquid in the bottle. So we need to subtract this 50 grams here. So that's why we get the 1,800 minus 50 equals 1750 grams of liquid. That's what we're going for. So we need to add things together to be less than that. Which of the following? We want it to be less than 1750. So everything says less than 7. Oh no, C and D are wrong, right? Because that's 1850. We're trying to add X and Y. So let's see what X and Y are. X and Y are the grams of ethanol and the grams of H2O. We need to add them together, and that has to be less than 1750. Does this inequality make sense? This is the simpler one. You're just having grams of ethanol, grams of water, you add them together, and the bottle itself weighs 50, so this stuff has to be less than 1750, because they said that the chemist wants the mass of the filled bottle, the mass of the filled bottle. They're not asking the mass of the liquid in the bottle. They're asking the mass of this full bottle, so that includes the mass of the bottle. You get it. I'll shut up about that. This has to be correct, which means that C is wrong and D is wrong. Please let me know if that doesn't make sense, chemist, or anybody else. Now, we have the other stuff. So the 789 and the 1000, it looks like that's what we have in A and B. We have a 789, we have a 1000, and now we're trying to, and the two, whatever, we're trying to decide if we are going to, the chemist wants to fill the mass of the, so it's not C or D, but I don't know when there is an X next and when it is above. Oh, next to, like in A and B, like 789X or X over 789? Is that your question? Great. Okay, so we can do this by units, and then we can maybe backtrack to see why it makes sense logically to do it that way. That is what confused me. Good. Okay, so you know that these are wrong, hopefully, because of that 1850 stuff. Good. So I wasted a little bit of time there talking about that because you knew it. Okay, let's do this by units. We have this factor, right? So we know that we've done 789, which is just a number, times X, which is grams. What we've just done is, if we've said 789 grams per liter
now we're going to multiply it. Let's try A first. So we're multiplying it by x, which is x grams. And that has to be less than or equal to, oh, and then we do the y stuff. But let's look at what happens to our units here. We have grams over liters times grams. So we're going to get, and now this isn't the answer, but we have 789x. We don't care about that, but the units is what I care about. The units are grams squared over liters. But this 2, the 2 on the right side of these inequalities in A and B, is it B? Yeah, it is. I might as well tell you, yes. Because this is wrong. This is wrong because this unit set up right here is terrible. Grams squared over liters, but we're comparing it to the number 2. And in this problem, 2 is 2 liters. It's the volume of the bottle, inside the bottle, right? So we have to fill up to 2 liters. We can't have more than that, so we have to have it at most 2 liters. But this isn't anything close to liters, so this is all wrong. Whereas if we do 789, oh sorry, it's x over 789. If we do x grams over 789 grams over liters, then this would be x grams times liters over 789 grams. It's technically 1 liter. So now the grams cancel, and you just get x, let's put this down here, x over 789 liters. And that's what we're looking for. So we can prove these at the end. You can use the numbers. We use the number 1750 versus 1850 to eliminate 2 of the answers. And then I just used the units. And when you convert the units, you have to make the units work on both sides because you can't compare grams squared over liters to liters. That doesn't do anything useful for chemists in general. And you are a budding chemist. You're a sweet, sweet budding chemist. All chemists bud. Normally in the spring, but some chemists, especially in 1902, bud in the fall or late summer. When does summer end? Bird. Good.
It ends in the autumnal equinox. I believe it's September 21st.
2 more left.
September
6
22nd
more
sometimes.
days. What are you talking about, Cookie? Chemist, do you have any questions on this? Anybody who is watching who is interested in learning about this question, how to do it? Anybody have questions? Oh, got it. Very good. What did you say, Bird? Did I interrupt you? I forgot what you said.
I was talking about the autumnal equinox.
Oh, that's what you were saying. I guessed B, but why above and not next? Okay, so you want it to be below because of what you're doing. You're trying to compare X. You're putting X grams of ethanol into this thing, right? And then it's unit conversion. You need to get from grams to liters. So how do you get from X grams and Y grams to liters? Well, you have to multiply by your scale factor, your conversion factor. So I can give you a simpler example that doesn't have to do with this problem contextually, but it's the same concept of multiplying by a scale factor. You multiply by something where the units are different, so your units will cancel out, and then you'll get that. Please visually example. Very good. If you're going to say visually, which is an adverb, you probably need a verb. So visually show an example, or a visual example, but then visual would be an adjective. I don't mean to be annoying. I am, but I mean to be annoying. I mean, I don't mean, dang it, Bird.
What?
I always just get into trouble up here.
Oh.
You see the trouble?
Erasing that thing up there?
No.
What trouble are you getting into?
Up here, slightly more vague. Show visually. Very good, chemist. I will show you so visually. All right. So let's see. Okay.
let's say you have, you need to walk 8 miles. That's how far you want to go from A to B. Okay? You got to get that far. And your speed, you're doing something, is I don't know, 32 miles per hour. Okay? That's your speed. How long will it take you? Okay, so let's say it takes you X hours. So how many hours are you going to be going at this speed? Let's make this a bigger number just so that we're doing more than 1 hour. Bird, give me miles, a number of miles.
13,
More,
27,
more,
45,
more,
How
over
much
100.
173,
I don't like that one.
172.
Let's do 100.
Oh, you're just gonna write into my
76.
suggestions. Oh my god. Oh,
That's a good one. Thank you, Brady.
whatever.
Okay, so 167. Good idea. Not gonna do it. So we need to figure out what our hours are, right? And now this equation isn't the most clear way of doing it. What I would do in this question is I would start with 176 miles, and I need to get rid of the miles. The way I always think of this is I'm getting rid of this unit, and I'm trying to get to my hours unit because that's what I'm looking for. So I would multiply by, now 32 miles an hour means that you're going 32 miles in 1 hour. So this is essentially 1. This number is 1. 32 miles equals 1 hour. It's just like saying 60 minutes is in 1 hour. It's the same thing. They equal each other. So I'm going to flip this and say 1 hour over 32 miles. By doing that, when I multiply through, the miles cancel, and I get 176 over 32, and now I'm just left with hours. So whatever this number is, I don't know what this number is. Brady, what is 176 divided by 32?
176 divided by
32.
5.5.
5.5.
No, 5.5.
5.5 of
No!
0.5. 5.5 hours. Let's say, yeah, so 5.5 hours. Does this general idea make sense? It's not quite the same as here. I'm going to bring it back to this in a sec in another way. But does this approach make sense? Where you start with what you're given, you have this conversion factor, which is 1. Miles per hour is, you get to, these things are equal to each other. But don't know if multiply, is it some number, do something with the 32 to get how many hours? Does what I, yeah, so you have to figure out whether or not you're going to multiply or divide. It's not even multiplying by 32 or deciding to divide by 32. You know it's 32 miles for 1 hour. So you can mess with this fraction however you want. And you just mess with it and put the one on the bottom that you want to cancel out with this, because this is technically on top. So I chose 1 hour over 32 miles because I wanted the miles to cancel. If I knew the number of hours I had, and I wanted to know how far I went at a certain speed, then I would switch it up. So let's say that I have 6 hours, and I want to know how far I've gone. So y miles. Now I just have the opposite situation. 6 hours, so I'll just start here. So 6 hours, and we're still at this speed. So I'm going to multiply by this the way it looks now, because hours is on the bottom and hours is on the top here. That's what I want. So I have 32 miles over 1 hour. Yeah? So hours cancel, and we get 6 times 32, which is 192, I think. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 192 miles. Now you get it. Great. So from here, we can go to this. Now this is not solving for what we want, right? We have y here and x somewhere else, and we're ending at our variable. You don't get to do that. You don't have the luxury because they give you the equations you're allowed to use. So from this, the way I think of it is just what is going to cancel out the units the correct way. And in this case, B cancels out the units the correct way because X is in grams and the 789 is in grams per liter. So when you multiply by it, you get grams squared over liters, which is not right. You want just liters because that's the units of 2. So if you have weird unit stuff and you're doing inequalities or equations, doesn't matter, your units have to be the same at the end of the day on both sides. I've talked a long time about this, and I may be talking in circles at this point. Do you feel comfortable with this idea? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Chemist, I'm not sure if you're taking the test on Saturday, but these are the hardest types of problems. They're less common, so you don't have to worry about them so much. But what's nice about them is that you don't have to do all the work. You can just poke holes in their work because there are only 4 answers.
We got more answers here. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, just going to have this entire half screen here. So you are going to have to take a little break.
I'm going to take a little break.
You're just a little busy bee, aren't ya?
I'm a little busy bee, aren't I?
That's what I just said.
I know, and I was repeating you for emphasis.
Very good. Math topics, though, reading, I am good. What is most common for the test? Math topics, though, reading, I'm good.
Okay, so most common math topics.
There's so many of them.
There's so many topics, and the SAT bundles them. So
Bundle.
Manoj runs a business at a baseball stadium. This month, with a budget of $17,000, Manoj buys pounds of peanuts at $1.10 per pound and pays his salespeople $200 each. There are S salespeople in total, and it is predicted that each can sell a maximum of 1,875 pounds of peanuts this month. Manoj will not buy more peanuts than what he predicts his salespeople will sell. Which of the following, hello Prodvanix, brethren, sisters, which of the following systems of inequalities represents this situation? All right. So there's 2 equations, or inequalities rather, for each of these situations, and there's a little bit of elimination that's pretty easy. So the 2 variables, S is the number of salespeople, P is the number of pounds of peanuts he buys. We do know that he will not buy more peanuts than what he predicted his salespeople can sell. So peanuts has an upper limit. He's not going to buy more than that. So with A, this says that P is going to be greater than or equal to some amount. That's not okay because he's going to only buy as much as he thinks his salespeople can sell. So P needs to be less than or equal to something. Okay? P is less than or equal to D. That is the only thing that this is going to be. If P has an upper range here, an upper limit, and he's not going to buy more than that, then P has to be less than or equal to something, and D is the only one that gives us that. So at that point, I'm done. We can talk about the rest of these things. But at that point, I am done. Yeah, let's make sure of the rest of this, though. He's got a budget. He can't go over his budget. So 17,000 needs to be greater than or equal to the rest of that stuff. Yeah. So what he's paying is 200S plus 110P. I'm looking at D for this. That needs to be less than or equal to his budget. He could pay his budget, exactly his budget, or he could pay less than that. But his budget needs to reign supreme. And D gives us that as well. So, at that point, you donezo. It's peanuts. You donezo garbanzo beans. Does that make sense, chemist? Would you like to go through why each inequality looks the way it does, or is this good? Is this good for you? I will go through these problems, but if you're okay, I'm okay. We can move to the next thing. This was a chemist question, right? Yeah, that each only is represented in that D, but why not B? Why not B? Yeah, that each only is represented in that D, but why not B? Remember, the number of peanuts he's going to buy will not be more than what he predicts his salespeople can sell. So in this case, he's going to take the number of peanuts, the number of pounds, and multiply it by 1,875. You're not supposed to multiply the pounds of peanuts by that amount. That amount, 1,875, represents what each salesperson can possibly sell. So you should be multiplying that number by S. That will give you how much he thinks his salespeople could possibly sell, not by P. The amount of peanuts is going to be less than or equal to number of salespeople times 1875. Does that make sense? Got it. Okay, very good. What do we have next? Oh, he just put a Khan Academy question. Not a question, but just a general.
Chemist. Most common stuff is not going to be, there's not like a most common question type. I wouldn't think about it that way. I would think about it as the most common thing that you have to do is manipulate equations. If you are not super comfortable with manipulating any type of equation you see, then you're not going to do super well on any of the equation parts, which is really bad, obviously. Like, that's not what you want. And then there's building equations where, like what we had with the inequalities problem, where you have the context and then you have to create, or they give you options, but you have to come up with the inequality of the equation that represents the information in that context. And then there's the other way where they'll give you a bit of context and then they'll also give you the equation, and then you have to interpret what the equation means. So there's building equations, interpreting equations, and then manipulating, solving equations. I'm a 10th grader, so I don't need that good of a score this year. That's perfect. We're also 10th graders. Oh. Ow. Oh my gosh, my back is so sore.
Put your arms out. Start doing fun stuff. Hey, look at that. We look pretty good. It's very graceful.
We are a tutor.
One tutor, 4 arms, so effective. This is like 8th grade stuff. No, it's not.
Wait. So this is a rainbow sarcasm, Eleanor Roosevelt. So I don't know what the rainbow would mean.
Well, either way, Robbie Expert is being sarcastic. Yeah,
Yes.
Robbie Expert. This involves a little bit of mathematical intuition that I don't think 8th graders would necessarily.
Which part are we talking about? No, but I think
inequality
it's
we just did?
being... Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Mine.
Are you gonna take forever on this one?
Excuse me?
I'm kidding. I know, Kevin said questions.
Ouch.
I'm kidding.
That was the meanest thing anybody's ever tutored to me. I feel like I've done this one recently, or something very similar.
tutored me or things.
Last question. No, not your last question. More questions. All right, this is fun. How very fun. Trucks, cars, SUVs. Trucks, cars, and SUVs. All right, so we have a problem. A used car dealer has 20 vehicles, all cars and trucks. He would like to paint and clear coat as many of them as possible with the 260 liters of paint and 300 liters of paint and 300 liters of clear coat that he has. Okay, I'm gonna just write these things down. So 260 liters paint, 300 liters clear coat, and let's see what else. It takes 13.2 liters of paint and 9.5 liters of clear coat for one car. It takes 1.5 times those amounts for one truck. Oh boy. Okay. So let's build equations here. And now we're going to eventually get to... Oh no, they give us equations. That's nice. Yeah. Woo. I'm not sure what their variables are. T is trucks and C is cars. Okay, that makes sense. You have to equal 300. What's the question here? Given the relevant equations graphed at left, which of the following could be the amount of cars and trucks, the number of cars and trucks, not the amount. Okay, so whoever was making these questions doesn't know the difference between amount and number. Amount is uncountable, like you have an amount of money, but number is countable, like you have a number of dollars. You can't have an amount of dollars and you can't have a number of money. Also, behold Brady's midriff. It's a fine, fine midriff. That is the midriff of
The gods.
the gods. I was saying tutors, but those are the same. Anyway, that could have been better delivery at the end there. And that is the silhouette of a midriff. A tutor's midriff. That's right, Rob Expert. Or Roby.
Roby. Roby expat.
Expat?
No. Roby expat.
Expat?
No. Listen.
Roby expat.
Listen to the words I'm saying.
I'm
Ro-
listening.
Roby.
No, don't
ex-
say listening. Listening is South African.
Is it?
Yes. Listen. Listen to me. No, that was almost Indian.
No. Don't.
Listen. Listen is South African.
Okay, so how should I say it? Listen.
Don't. Yeah, should.
Don't listen.
Don't put so much e into it.
Listen. Don't
do that.
Don't listen. Is that what you want?
I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna finish this problem up. Which of the following could be the number of cars and trucks that received paint and clear coat? Okay, so let us see here. The number. So this is one of those fill-in questions, right?
Fill it in, fill it in.
When no one is around.
Whoa! Whoop. It's up there now.
Thanks, Bird.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I do this or did you do this last time?
It was something similar, but it wasn't this exact
It was a different
situation.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's identify each of these equations here. So I think that middle line is the simplest. Let's start there. We have C plus T equals 20, which is cars plus trucks equals 20. The number of cars plus the number of trucks equals 20. We can't have more than that. And the question is, given the relevant equations graphed to the left, which of the following could be the number of cars and trucks that received paint and clear coat? Okay, well, it certainly can't be above that line, right? It can't be above that line because if we go above that line, any individual coordinate pair, above that line would give us more than 20 cars and trucks, right? If we go up by that third line, we're going to have 30 cars or trucks or 40 or something like that. And we can't have that. So you might think that you have to deal with that top line, but you actually don't, because the simplest equation, and I recommend starting with the simpler things first, just nullifies that, because we can't go above that line and we can't go beyond that up and to the right. Please let me know if that thought process doesn't make sense. So now we know that we have to be below that line. I'm just going to draw this guy quickly. So we have that line there, we have this line here, and then we have this line here. So we know we can't be here. We're going to have to be, at the worst, it's going to be everything in here. That's what we just said based on that middle line of ours. Stop me if I'm not making sense. Now, we have this bottom line. So let's see what that is. That's 13.2C. What was the 13.2 associated with? It said it takes 13.2 liters of paint. So, oh, look at that. The digits have to add up to 9 factorial? Someone on Facebook posted. Because it's 6 multiples of 3. 9 factorial. Euler. Euler. Actually, don't know what that means right now, but we can hit that once we finish this. Okay, now we got this last one. 13.2C plus 13.2 times 1.5T. That makes sense because it takes 13.2 liters per car and then 1.5 times that per truck. And that equals 260. Okay, and let's see. We are looking for, given the relevant equations, whatever, which of the following could be the number of cars and trucks that received paint and clear coat? Well, again, we can't go above that line, because above that line would mean that, oh, you know what? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this bottom equation. Where is it in the statement? What is the top equation? The top like the top line in the graph here, that 9.5c plus 9.5, that one? Yes. That one is clear coat, I think, because it says it takes 9.5 liters of clear coat per car, and then 1.5 times that for every truck. So they have 9.5 times C, which is liters per clear coat per car, and then, or for each car, and then we have double, or 1.5 times. Oh, you got it. Okay, great. So now we have the same thing here. I'm gonna see if I can fit this. 13.2 C plus, I'm just gonna multiply these together. So 13.2 times 1.5 is 6.6, 9.8, 19.8. So I think it's 19.8 T equals 260. Please let me know if my math at the end, let's see, 13.5, that would be 6.6. Yeah, okay. So that equals 260. What I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for T, and I will explain why in a second. Okay, let's subtract the 13.2 and then divide by 19.8. So we get T, do I need to do this? No, that doesn't, I don't know if I want to do that. The Snapchat is blocking the equation. The snapshot. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, it's just a 260. I copied the equation here. So let's think about it this way. On this line, right? If we pick a point on this line that gives us a certain number of cars and a certain number of trucks, that will give us 260. 260 is the number of liters of paint that we have. So if we go above that line, let's say we go to the point 0.14. If we go to the point 0.14, we're going to be doing 14 trucks. And according to this equation, 14 trucks would mean 0 cars, so we don't have this at all. 14 times 19.8 is going to be more than 260, which means we can't do that. So when we're asked, given the relevant equations, which of the following could be the number of cars and trucks that received paint and clear coat, we need to be less than this line. We need to be below it so that our coordinate pairs, the number of cars and trucks we have, will yield an amount of paint and clear coat used that is less than what we're allowed to use because we only have that much. Why is 19.8 more than 260? It's not, but we're plugging in 14 because T equals 14. So if we do 19.8 times 14, Brady, what is 19.8 times 14?
19.8 times 14 is 200.
Well, let's see. 20 times 14 is 280, right? So it's 280 minus 1/5 of 14. So if we only have 260, 1/5 of 14 is going to be less than whatever. So yeah, 280 minus this thing.
0.2 times 14 is 2.8.
Yeah, 2.8. So it's not enough to get down below 260. So you can tell that picking the point 0.14 on this graph, which is above our line, is not acceptable because it requires too much paint. 277.2. Yes, there you go. So I'm going to now make this smaller because I think Brady's a little bit lonely.
Are you done with this one?
Pretty much.
That's good.
Are you?
What kind of a question is that?
Okay. Does anybody have questions about this? The 3 lines represent stuff in the equation. We find out we can't go above any of them. So honestly, at the end of the day, we only need that one at the bottom. We got to be between that and the origin and the axes because you can't have negative cars, you can't have negative trucks. I've seen it happen. Terrible accidents. It's actually the result of terrible accidents. 2 cars going at each other like that and they crumple inwards. Okay, it seems like everybody's super happy about this question and the explanation and is going to get the best score possible.
on the SAT in 3 days. Okay, I'm going to move on, and by I and move on, I mean Brady is going to come up here.
Yay!
Because we don't have any more questions. I thought we had more questions. Hey, chemist, you said you were going to come with more questions. What math topic do you want me to put in questions for stream for everyone to learn to prepare for the SAT?
Whatever you need.
Whatever you want to work on. Are you surprised we came back with that? Because that doesn't surprise me that I came back with that.
Not at all.
Commas, my lord. Commas.
Ah.
Commas, my lord. The peasant wants commas.
The commoner wants common. Commas.
Oh, very good,
Very good.
commoner. Oh, I can put another question until I finish a question. I can't put another question until I finish a question. That makes sense. That's fine. Everybody else watching, you're failing miserably.
I'm sorry.
Terrible job. Everybody, terrible. Ask questions. We'll answer them.
You should be ashamed of
You
yourselves.
should be ashamed. Pepe hands. Yeah. I always pronounce that peep. Back in the day.
Pepe?
I just read it as peep.
That's good, Levi.
Because I always read it and nobody ever said it to me because I don't talk to people. I only talk to people via chat and I get to talk to them because I don't have fingers.
Fingers.
Think about it. Have you ever seen my fingers? The answer is no. I always point with markers. And my Pepe hands. Yeah? Alright, let's move on, Bird, huh? What do you say?
I say, hey!
Yeah, okay, don't say anything else. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can wrangle a question from the SAT Discord, which is suspiciously quiet on a night only 3 nights before the SAT. Suspiciously. I have my thoughts about that. Obviously. Everybody does.
I have a thought about it.
I don't want to hear it.
It's a good thought.
Okay, come up here and tell me.
I think you'd like it.
I don't think I would.
Very good.
Bird!
Come on.
Come.
I don't see what's wrong.
I don't like that voice.
What is this? You call this a
Oh, I call that a tutor. That's
Tu-
Fred.
tur?
Fred
No, that's-
with racing stripes.
That's not Fred Triangle. That is not Fred Triangle. This is Fred Triangle.
Oh my gosh, my legs are so tired.
Fred Triangle.
There we go, almost done. And that's Fred Triangle.
Where's he from?
Fred Triangle's from Cleveland. Or at
Okay.
least he was born in Cleveland.
He looks like Ditto. The
No.
Pokemon Ditto.
Nah. I mean, if you were to think that he looks like Ditto, I could see why you'd think that. Because you think he looks like Ditto. But, are you drawing Ditto? Is that what Ditto says?
Yeah.
Pikachu. Even
There's a
Pikachu's
Pokemon episode
sneezing?
about Ditto where its eyes are like that and it can become any other Pokemon, right? Because that's what Ditto does.
Right.
But it couldn't change its eyes.
Oh.
And so its trainer was super disappointed in it. And then I think Team Rocket stole it, and then Meowth pressured it into changing its eyes. And it literally just goes like that, and it fixes its eyes. And then for the rest, and then like Team Rocket did something good for once. But it was because they were trying to steal Ditto.
Did they then blast off again?
Yeah. Team Rocket is blasting off again.
What was the deal with them?
Yes, actual nerds. That's right.
Ha! That's what nerds do. They make that noise.
They always do that.
Yes. And they always will.
Yeah. People
I'm
think
gonna
they won't.
erase this. I
But
don't
they
know
will.
what this is. I don't like it.
It's Fred Triangle. That's what it is.
Well, that's Fred Triangle. Actual knights.
Roby, do you want me us to call you Roby or Rob or Kurt?
Rob Yexpert. You're a Yexpert on all things Rob.
Yexpert, are you like some weird
Wizard?
elephant crossed with like a small rodent in a Dr. Seuss book?
I was actually gonna.
Because a
I was gonna ask
Yexpert
that.
sounds like that.
It does sound like a
Yeah.
Yexpert. Yertle the turtle.
Yeah, Horton here is a Yexpert.
Moncow exposed.
Manga W. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, do you know what that means, Rob Yexpert? If so, please tell
What does
us.
that mean?
What?
Manga W? No, Manga X, but I don't know what that means.
What does Monka X mean?
Monka S. I've seen that in chats. I don't know what it means. Hey, tell us what that means.
Hey you, what does that mean? You should tell us.
I've seen it.
We want to know.
That's very proud.
But if it's inappropriate, don't say it on the chat.
Yeah.
But if it's appropriate, say it loud.
I think it is not inappropriate.
It's not inappropriate.
I haven't seen it used at that time.
It's better Twitch TV emote. Monka W.
We just want to reach you guys, you know?
We want to relate to you.
We want to reach. It's a better Twitch TV emote.
It typically indicates that someone is nervous, embarrassed, or facing a high-pressure situation.
What? All of them?
Monka W.
Yes.
Yeah, but where would it even? Why would that connect to Monka W?
Dude, why don't you just let it happen?
Well, I am.
You're trying to control them. You can't.
Fine, you're right. That's the problem. I always do this.
Yeah, you always do this.
I push people away.
Yeah, except for me.
Right, because I don't condone violence.
Ow, ow. And
We-
we,
we
also
al-
in
we
a
also-
dark box. And
Dark
there's nowhere
box.
for me to go. Dark box.
Please send food.
Dark box.
Put on your dark box today. .com
Were you
for
shaking?
you. Let's do some questions, Leaf.
Okay,
Give me some
we're gonna
good.
have to go to the ACT.
Give me
'cause
some
nobody's
spicy.
talking in the SAT.
Come on, give me some spicy.
Something spicy.
Yeah. Give me something I can really sink my teeth into. Really use those canines if you catch my drift. Very good.
We're gonna try this one
I'd like to do that.
and see how it goes. Ooh,
Make
that's
it
a
big.
nice size.
Make it big, make it big.
Do you wanna
I'd
do
like
this
it if
one?
it was larger. Yes.
Okay.
Sink your teeth into this.
Oh, can I?
Please don't.
Okay.
Brady, it's for you.
Do you want me to?
No.
Very good.
Oh, Brendan.
You asked.
And we're.
I did. I
I
guess
delivered.
it's my fault.
And I reneged.
It's my fault.
All right. Just so you know.
Yeah. What? That it? You gonna make it big?
Didn't.
No, make it big. Full screen.
Fine. Fine. This is from the ACT, but SAT and ACT
Has similar concepts.
writing and and English section are very similar.
All right, so for number 5, the sentence is: his rugged outdoor dress, long hair, and tan skin seemed like a vision straight out of the Wild West, even though he had not visited Europe. Interesting. All right. I'm sorry, it's not done yet. Even though he had not visited Europe in many years. All right. All right. So, interesting. He traveled to England where he was an instant sensation. So even though means there's contradiction here. So he looked like he was from the Wild West, even though something else. Say
number
that.
6.
Well, can we do number 5 as well?
Yes.
Okay. So saying that he had not visited Europe in many years doesn't necessarily contradict with him looking like a cowboy. If you haven't been to Europe, you might look like a cowboy. There's not necessarily contradiction there. So saying even though he had spent years living in the wilderness, that would make sense that he looks like a cowboy. So there's no contradiction there. We want contradiction. That's not wrong. Sorry, that's not right. Even though he was still a relatively young man. Your age has nothing to do with your appearance, as far as like your dress and your hair. So that's not, yeah, it was actually quite sophisticated. That's the contradiction. This guy looks like a cowboy, but he's very sophisticated. That is the contradiction. So number 6, the next one. Audubon exhibited his portfolio in London and Paris, the largest cities in Europe, and quickly succeeded in financing his project. All right, so what are the options here? London and Paris, which were much older than Philadelphia. Not needed. London and Paris are very old cities. Philadelphia is in America, which is quite new. So that is just, I mean, yes, it's obvious. We don't need that because it's obvious. Okay, London and Paris, where he saw many historic sites. Again, this is London and Paris we're talking about. They've been around for hundreds of years. Of course there's going to be historic sites. You can't go to these cities without seeing historic sites. So it's useless information. We're going to get rid of that as well. The largest cities in Europe. We know that they're the largest cities in Europe. I mean, they're very large. London and Paris are massive. I mean, when you think of big cities in Europe, what else you got? Berlin? I don't know. either way, getting rid of this is the most concise way to say this sentence. Actually, the largest cities in Europe. We'd have to know London and Paris for sure were the largest cities in Europe. Either way, it's not that important. We know that they're huge cities in Europe, so like the fact that they might be the largest is not that much, not very useful information. You're assuming that your reader is coming into this being a person from Earth who's not living under a rock. So they should know a couple of things about the world, and all these things are things that you can assume your reader already knows.
I also would say that who cares, you know? We need a little more context, and we don't have it, unfortunately, but we're talking about this man, and he's sharing his portfolio, and we're not. He does become an instant sensation, and it's wonderful, but that's not where we want the thrust of this essay to be thrust. Understand?
Right!
Oh my gosh!
Right, I get that, yeah.
Thanks, Bird.
Sure. I was gonna say that too.
Okay, I'm just saying because on the Discord where they were asking about it,
Yeah?
they were like, "Well, I thought that the fact that they were the largest cities in Europe was important," and
It's known.
it's known, and also that distracts a little bit. You said London and Paris.
That's London and Paris.
You might say that it's known already.
Yes, it's built into.
You
being
probably
London
didn't
and
say
Paris.
that yet.
What? I just said that. I literally just said that.
I don't remember this. Well, that was super fun.
In my native
Okay.
language, it's literally a rule when you add additional information like that. You put it in between commas. Yes, you do. You do if the information should be there. Now, there's a difference between being non-essential and being useless. Something can be non-essential for the sentence to make sense. My uncle, a wild and crazy guy, wears Hawaiian shirts. That's new information. It's not necessary to the sentence. My uncle wears Hawaiian shirts is fine. But then there's information. My uncle, the brother of one of my parents, wears Hawaiian shirts. That information is useless.
Your head, Bird. It's gone.
It's not gone. It's just behind the bar.
Oh.
That information is useless. So, yes, they put largest cities in Europe in between commas, but we don't even need it. That's the thing. It doesn't add anything.
Yeah, this question is not about that also, because the other options are the same thing.
They're all grammatically correct, so that's not what we're being tested on.
That's right. It is not about. It's not about interrupting elements. Yeah, because the commas are going to be there regardless. That's the thing. All those commas there are going to stay there. They're just taking up the words in the middle. So they understand that these are all not essentials, but they're just useless. You know, like Levi.
Oh.
What are your thoughts about what I just said, Levi?
I haven't thought about it because it hurts my feelings, so I won't go there.
Ah, you're repressing and dissociating.
Yes.
Very good. I've taught you well. It was all a test. Are there more questions, my lord?
No, I think not.
No, no.
Definitely no.
Definitely not.
No. No.
Oh man, oh man. Solve the Facebook one. What is the Facebook one? Where do I find the Facebook one? Is it on the general? No. Where is the Facebook one? I'd like to find it, but I don't know where it is. I want to do it. I don't know where it is. You must help me. Rob, the expert. The other guy said something about it. Levi, you mean?
What'd I say?
Something about a Facebook question with 9 factorial?
Oh, yeah. Felix posted.
He did?
Yeah, it was something interesting that I didn't quite get. Just scroll up.
Oh. Felix posted. Why didn't you say so?
You were upstairs.
Oh, no, just 9. I was just excited. Oh, no. It doesn't have to add up to 9 factorial. He's literally excited. Look at his first sentence. It has an explanation point as well. That's part of his sentence. It's not adding up to 9 factorial. It's a common misconception.
Oh, man.
And multiples of 3 have to add up to 3. Multiples of 9 have to add up to 9. I guess it would also be a multiple of 9 in that case, because there are multiple 3's in it. So one of those answers would add up to 9. Yeah, you know what? He's got a point. If there's multiple 3's built into it, it's definitely a multiple of 9, which means the numbers also have to add up to 9. So we had those two options that we then had to like do all our guessing and checking. We didn't need to do that.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could put in a 9 and then... Or it has to be a multiple of 9.
Yeah.
So it could be 27, which was that the
That was the answer. Yeah.
And then the other one was adding...
2.
No, it was adding 8,
It's adding 8.
which would be 30, which is not a
We're down
multiple
multiple
of
of
9.
9. Ah! Okay, well done, Felix. Yeah, no, it's, we already did that one. Robbie Expert, the question was posted in Discord. We tackled that one early on in the stream. It turns out we did a little more work than we needed to, but sometimes that happens in math. You take a direction, you pick it, and you just see where it gets you. And it might be a longer route than you need, but you don't see the shorter route until after you've gone to your destination and look back and realize there was something easier. Yeah, that's what I've always said. Give us your questions, knaves. You foolish, foolish knaves. Levi, we need more people watching the stream. Everything would be solved if we had that.
What if you talk louder?
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
People show up and they're like, nah, these guys are too quiet.
No, they'll hear us if we talk louder. If they're passing
Oh.
through, passing by.
Passing by, huh? They just walk by the stream?
Yeah.
Very good. I don't know. That might be something about it. Ooh! That's an aggressive yawn directed at you guys. You know why? Because I'm bored of your lack of questions. You don't want to see me when I'm bored. Because I'll yawn at you aggressively. Which you've already seen. But you don't want to see me when I'm bored. Levi, I must go to the bathroom. Will you relieve me while I relieve myself? Do you like that?
Yes.
Do you like that?
Yes.
Is this like a startup, or are you doing it in your free time? Rob the expert, you tell us. Do we make any money doing this? No, we don't. So we are doing this in our free time. However, we are a tutoring company, and we are trying to spread tutoring to all of those who also cannot afford it. So, yeah, it's like a startup. Rob the expert, please spread us like the plague. Tell your friends about us.
Yeah, cough on your friends.
Yeah.
Say, nerdish. Do that.
Stalk kids near school. Don't do that. Don't do that, Rob.
Roby? I don't know. Robbie? Do you want us to call you something? Eleanor. There we go. That's what it is. Call you Eleanor. I won't remember that, so I won't. Okay. We're maybe waiting on Chemist to ask us some questions, but we don't have a ton of time. And Bird's gone now. What do you want to talk about? Rob, you're not... Rob? Let's go with Rob. Rob, you're not taking the SAT, correct? So what, I don't know, what do you want to talk about? Like some math concepts that are on the SAT that maybe you don't know about or have forgotten since you were in school? Or are you taking the test? I feel like you're not. But I forget. Please tell me. I need to know. You're not. That's what I thought. What do you want to talk about? Since nobody else is asking questions. But if you're here and you're not asking questions, please ask questions. It would be cool. We have a national exam after 12 years of school. Oh, so you are in not this country? The US? Not the US? Where are you? I don't know what that means. They're just a laugh. Romania. Is E there for Eastern Europe? I assume. I know where Romania is. Gosh. Gosh. Good. Maybe I can draw a map of... I can't draw a map of Europe freehand. That would be ridiculous.
Let's do something. Do you study math in Romania? I assume so. Maybe this? No.
Alright, I don't know what any of these faces mean, but they seem to be Romanian faces.
The many faces of Romania. The Romanian faces of many. Oh, what's this? Science questions.
Clearly. Black and white Eleanor Roosevelt. Do you know who Eleanor Roosevelt is when I'm saying that name to you? Because I just assume that everybody's familiar with U.S. history, but like, she's not the most important figure in U.S. history that somebody from Romania would care to know. Eleanor Roosevelt is Brady's great aunt, and she's lovely. A little kooky, but lovely.
Are you talking about my aunt, my great aunt, Eleanor
Yeah.
Roosevelt?
Yeah. Some chick. Whoa.
She was married to the president. So I don't know about that. She was married to FDR. What was Teddy's wife's name?
I think also Teddy, but with an I.
A little heart that was dotting it.
Yeah. She had great handwriting.
Oh my gosh.
So Roby, or Roby, I don't know how to pronounce your name, is from Romania, which is in Eastern Europe.
No, it's in Europe.
Yeah, it's east. That means east.
Oh. Romania, the breadbasket of Eastern Europe. That's what my tennis instructor from Romania used to say before the accident.
With the basket.
When he got lost in the breadbasket. Couldn't
Never
find his
get
way
lost
out.
in the breadbasket.
Yeah.
You know how much education I've done
3?
since you left? Less.
4?
That's more than 3.
Forks?
That's more than 3.
6?
That's also less.
8th.
8th?
No, 8th. How much education have you done,
6.
Levi? You done 6?
I guess.
That's what you just said.
No, I've done it. I've educated you at 6.
I love 6.
It's like, Jeb,
We got any questions? Jeb with an exclamation point.
that...
Jeb!
that- oh, gosh. Did nobody think to say it out loud when they came up with that logo?
I don't know.
Jeb!
Jeb, it's such a short sound.
Whoever first said that ruined his campaign.
You think so?
I think so.
I feel like he wouldn't have won anyway.
No, I don't think he could have handled Trump in those debates.
No.
But, also...
Which is an absurd thing. Well, okay, no, we won't get into that. We're going to stay out of politics.
We should get right into politics. Okay, let's talk about Romanian Eastern European politics, shall we?
There are 7 of them.
Yes.
7 individual politics.
Yes, there's the west side politicians and the east side politicians in this breadbasket.
The east side.
Yes.
Yes.
And the west side
what
ones
about-
are all for pushing people down, and the east side are all for having them rise up.
That's the east side. What about the wheat side?
The wheats. Ooh, okay, Bird.
I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun.
You dork.
What? I'm a nerd.
All right. We haven't done anything.
That's because nobody wants us to do anything.
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't factor in the 2 viewers that are us watching ourselves in the monitor we have.
Good. It's a good thing.
Yes.
So we should be thinking about that, is what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm saying that like any number that we have for how many viewers are watching us, just add 2.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We're doing better than we thought we were
Yes,
doing.
by 2.
Right.
Actually, 2 times better.
So can we, maybe we can message ourselves to see if we want tutoring from ourselves.
Yes.
Why don't I tutor you for you to tutor me?
I don't know how.
To tutor me?
Yes.
Why? You've been tutoring
I
everyone
haven't been
else.
taught. I need you to tutor me.
On how to tutor me? I don't know how to tutor myself. I've never done it. Are we done?
It's 23.
Yeah, let's call it a
Yeah,
day.
okay. We're going to call it a day. It's a day. And we're
Hey!
gonna sign off because nobody's asking us questions, and we got things to do, places to go, people to see, and dreams to
Fulfill
fulfill.
and have
Yes.
and to not fulfill.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good. Have a lovely evening or morning if you're in Romania.
That's fun.
Or I hope you've been sleeping and then you just woke up.
Very good.
But I have a sneaking suspicion.